Mark Daniels covers the Patriots for MassLive.com, something I read, unlike this NBC Sports nonsense. MassLive.com. He joins us on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Mark Daniels, would you like to say something about Peter King?
Oh, congrats to Peter King. I mean, I hope I'm covering. I hope, you know what? I hope I'm employed for that long with this day and age. I mean, it's, props to him. I think he said what, from like 24 to 66. He was covering the NFL. That's pretty awesome. It feels rare. I don't know if I'm going to make it that long, guys.
Oh, you'll make. Oh, Mark, don't say that. You'll make it. You'll make it. I'll tell you, you'll make it. All right. So the draft is coming up. Is there any rumblings that you're hearing? Is there anything that we should know about? It's okay if there isn't.
You know what? The week for rumblings, guys, is it's coming. It's coming. I'm actually leaving for Indy in like 4 hours, and the rumors, honestly, they start this week in Indy at the NFL Combine, and from I'll be there Monday to Friday. The Combine ends on Saturday, but I'd say by this weekend we should definitely have a general sense of some of the free agents the Patriots are maybe interested in, what the free agent markets are with their own guys, and we'll start to hear some draft rumors. I mean, this is the week when people start to report, oh, Patriots met with so and so prospect. So in terms of the rumors, I mean, I don't know if I have much for you other than a couple nuggets here and there, but nothing crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm hoping to go to Indy and eventually break the internet. That's my goal.
Right.
But I think
So
right now what'll be interesting for me is to see how Elliot Wolf sort of handles his stuff, because it's a new era in New England, and I think with Bill Belichick it almost got easy. It was a little easy to predict just because we had 20 years of background with the type of prospects they liked, the free agents they liked, and now it's sort of wide open for me. So I'm really looking forward to going down there and hopefully connecting with some quote unquote sources and being able to tweet out some rumors and come on here and actually give you guys an actual answer.
all right. So what's interesting is Mike Tannenbaum. I heard talking about going down to the combine, and he said, I found this interesting. He said, it's old school, but going. They want to meet face to face, and then he gave the example of the Bears trade with Carolina last year, that it comes down like that. They did that, if I'm not mistaken. They did it during the combine week. I think that's when they made that trade, and or around that time. And Tannenbaum said what would happen is that for, like, say the Bears are trading Justin Fields, that Atlanta and Pittsburgh are the two teams that are interested, that Atlanta and Pittsburgh would just come into the room, come meet the guy, and go, here's the offer. There's not like a lot of BS. It's like, here's your offer. Just give me your bottom line offer. They give the bottom line offer. They compare the two and take the best one. So he says
Yeah,
that's like what, like, so when Mark says that things are going down at the draft, like, so you expect actual big moves to be made. That's generally what happens.
yeah, and honestly, they're not reported this week, but I think there's a reason why. Like when free agency starts at a certain time on a Monday, Adam Schefter all of a sudden tweets out like 5 deals at the same time. It's because they're worked out and sort of hashed out this week in Indy. I mean, all the agents are there, all the GMs, most coaches, a lot of assistant coaches, all the scouts, and really, this is when agents learn what their free agents. What their clients will get from other teams. I mean, I've talked to agents in the past who've come away from Indy knowing exactly where their client is going. So really, this is the week that it's like, what do you call it? You would call it illegal tampering. The NFL has legal tampering that, comes before actual free agency. This is the week of actual illegal tampering where most teams and agents actually get stuff done. And that includes trade talk. So yeah, the Justin Fields deal will be something that is probably talked about. But I mean, for the Patriots, like Mac Jones, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, Elliot Wolf is talking to other teams about someone like Mac Jones this week. It wouldn't surprise me if, he was traded at some point, but this is the week where really you find out, what other teams would give you for, a player like him.
Real quick, and then I want you guys to ask a question.
Yeah.
But the Bears made the trade on March 15th. I guess so right after the combine is when they made that trade, and it was gonna go. It was going to be, they were going to make a deal with someone else, but then there was the DJ Moore piece. Go ahead.
So, Mark, what would your gut tell you right now in terms of what the Patriots could get for Mac Jones? And does that seem like the most obvious move to make right now if they are, in fact, drafting a quarterback at 3?
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be somewhere around a fifth round pick.
Oof.
You know, I mean, unless you want to get, creative and say trade Mac Jones in a sixth and for a fourth. I think that's what they did with Sony Michel back in the day with the LA Rams. I only bring up Sony Michel because I look at a guy like Sean McVay who runs, the West Coast system, and I'm like, oh, would Mac Jones make a good backup quarterback for say like Matthew Stafford? So my mind instantly goes there, like fifth round pick. I think the thing with trading Mac is like, do they wait for like the draft weekend? Like, is there a team who doesn't get a quarterback in the end of the first or the second round who then says, all right, well, whatever, give up a day 3 pick for Mac? I guess theoretically you could hold on to him through training camp, but I think they're going to reset their quarterback position. I think they'll sign a veteran and ultimately draft a younger quarterback. So it's probably best just to, give Mac a fresh start. Not that I think he would be a bad backup, but I think if you are going to draft a rookie, just pair him with a different veteran and move on. So yeah, I think ultimately it'll be probably a fifth round pick. I'd be surprised if it was more.
How much are we really going to learn about the quarterbacks at the combine this week? I was reading that Daniels isn't going to throw, that Caleb Williams isn't going to throw, but guys like Nix and McCarthy are going to throw. Obviously, I don't think the Patriots going to take either of those last two guys, but how much are we really going to learn?
Yeah, it's more of a dog and pony show. Like we'll get to see these guys like on a podium talking to the media and see how they handle themselves. And for NFL teams, they get, I believe it's 30 players they'll interview for 15 minutes at a time. So really it's one of the first steps in a long process. Like the Patriots have been scouting these guys for years. Well, they'll finally get to meet them face to face for only 15 minutes. And then after this, they'll have these Zoom calls with certain prospects, and then they'll bring guys into Gillette Stadium for their top 30 visits, which is, I'd say, way more important than a 15-minute, face to face at the combine. But how important is it? I don't know. It's somewhat because you get to sort of test these guys and see how they respond to your questions, whether they're, stressful questions or try to test the guy's character, but it's only 15 minutes. So I don't know. I always thought the combine was a little overrated. I mean, guys are running around in spandex and underwear, and that's not real football. So, I mean, in the fact that some of them aren't throwing, it's like, all right, cool. But they're throwing in like shorts, right? They don't have pads on. There's not a pass rush. There's not man coverage. It's okay. I mean, I understand why the NFL does it. They make a lot of money, but it's a little important, but I wouldn't put too much stock into it.
Is there any significance as to who goes to these things from teams and who doesn't? Like, for instance, Mayo is going to go along with Elliott Wolf. Does that really matter?
I think for Mayo being a first year head coach, it matters so he can experience it and see what it is, and he can sit on in some of these meetings. But you're right, there are some teams like I know the Rams in years past have kept their entire coaching staff at home. Last year with the Patriots, they only had it was like their 3 special teams coaches, and I want to say it might have been like Troy Brown and Mike Pellegrino. And we're talking to people about it. They're like, well, at this point, we've already learned a lot about these guys through like the Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl, and we've scouted them for 2 years. And a lot of teams put more stock into the longer interviews, which is the Zoom calls and the in-person interviews. So yeah, no, I think Gerard's never really experienced it before in this set. I mean, he's scouted before. That's what assistant coaches do, but he's never been the one leading the show. So I think it'll be a good experience for him, especially dealing with other teams and agents.
All right, Mark Daniels, enjoy your time in Indianapolis. Try to keep control in the City of Lights.
It's gonna be tough, guys. You know what they say about Indy? It's like the Vegas of this region of the country.
It's
No,
the Vegas of Central Indiana.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Bloomington is really like the Lake Havasu. Mark Daniels, thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Thank
All
you.
right, there you go. Read them on Mass Live.